Hey guys, this is Sweet Creeps here, and before the video begins, I just want to apologize quickly if the narration in this video isn't the greatest. I just recently had a wisdom tooth pulled, and kind of resulting in me to struggle in narrating some parts, which you'll be able to see throughout the video. Anyways, I think this will be a really good story, and I hope all of you enjoy. If you do, please leave a like, and don't forget to leave me any feedback in the comment section. I always reply. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I always appreciate that. Also, feel free to check out my other videos. I have a recent video thing at the end of the video that will appear, and also you can just subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell. That way you'll know when I have videos and when I'm posting them. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Here's the video. Today was the first day of my new job working at some mirror store. Linda's Mirrors, or something like that. I didn't really like the job, mainly because all I do is dust shit, but it pays good. The old lady who owns the shop is one of those crazy old people, and her last employee was sent to an insane asylum and died a week later. Well, that's the story I heard from my friends. They said that the 16-year-old girl claimed she was being haunted by twin girls she saw in a mirror. I didn't believe my friends, of course. They were most likely trying to scare me. Anyway, I walked to the shop, which was right around the corner from my apartment, and walked inside. The shop was filled with all types of mirrors in many different shapes, colors, and sizes. There were gold mirrors, silver mirrors, round mirrors, square mirrors, big mirrors, and cute small ones. I walked around a bit searching for Linda. Instead, I found a note saying, "Went out of town, won't be back for a few weeks. Store key on counter along with instructions." Great. First day of work and my boss leaves. Just like the note had said, the key to the store, along with paper with instructions scribbled on it, were on the counter. I pocketed the key and picked up the paper. It said, "Step 1. Dust all mirrors. Step 2. Be sure to keep the shop clean. Step 3. Sell mirrors for at least $50 or more. Step 4. Do not look under the white tarp." I frowned as I reread number 4. What was the crazy old bat talking about? I walked around looking for a white tarp and found it at the back of the store, hidden away. The tarp was dirty and had red stains here and there, most likely from paint, and the object it was covering seemed to be 2 feet taller than me, so it was 8 feet 2 inches. My curiosity sparked, and I wanted so badly to remove the tarp but resisted and went about the store doing my job. May 1st, 2000. For 2 hours I sat behind the counter reading a magazine or liking my friend's post on Instagram. Linda had yet to return, and I was praying that she would soon, because being in this mirror store was a little eerie. Since it was so quiet, everything was louder, and I swear on my life I heard tapping coming from under the tarp, like something was trying to get my attention. Whenever I heard the tapping, I just tried to ignore and say it's just my mind playing tricks. As I was commenting on Jasmine's latest pic, the tapping noise started up again, followed by soft whispers. I couldn't make out what the voices were saying, but I could tell they belonged to the children. The tapping and whispers were coming from the mirror. I decided to just brush it off, telling myself that it's just my mind playing tricks again. But the whispers were really starting to freak me out, so I put my headphones in and turned the volume up as high as it could go, effectively blocking out the tapping and whispering. That night, I received a text saying, "Reveal the mirror." Confused, I deleted the text and went back to cleaning, but the text was sent again, and every time I deleted the text, another was sent. It really freaked me out, and I wasn't able to get any sleep that night. May 25th of 2000. The tapping and whispering got louder and more persistent each passing day, and it was driving me insane. Linda still hasn't returned, and I was beginning to worry. But that worry immediately disappeared as the tapping turned into loud bangs and the whispering into shouts. The voices for sure belonged to children, young girls to be specific. Finally, I snapped and in a blind rage ran to the tarp and tore it off of the object, throwing it behind me. The banging and shouting ceased to exist, and an eerie silence engulfed me as I stared into the mirror. Nothing. No, wait. There was. there was 2 pairs of pitch-black eyes peering at me. The eyes belonged to 2 pale twin girls dressed in identically torn dresses, stained with blood. They were dirty and had long blonde hair. They also wore sinister smiles. I turned around and saw nothing but an empty store. When I turned back around, the sight that greeted me was horrific. The twin girls now stood on either side of my reflection, staring at me. One of them was stroking my hand with the tip of her finger, and I felt the cool skin as if she were truly standing beside me doing it. I shook my head and quickly scooped up the tarp and threw it back over the mirror. I decided that it was a good idea to go home early, so I gathered my stuff and ran, without locking the door. I talked to my girls on a group chat and told them what happened. They said that it'd be a good idea to quit, but if I did that, I'd have no way of paying rent. But my sanity mattered more to me, so I decided I'd just quit. June 10th of 2000. It's been a few months since I've quit my job. I'd written a well-worded note explaining why I wanted to quit and how sorry I was. I really wasn't sorry though. I was happy to have my life rid of that store and its fucked up mirror. Ever since I looked into that mirror, strange things had been happening. It was like the tapping and whispering followed me home along with demonic giggles. I've tried to block them out by listening to music, but that didn't work. I could still hear them. I decided that I was just still freaked out by what had happened at the store. That's why I'm still hearing the noises. They're just my memories, all in my head. Later that night, as I was watching TV in the dark, I heard something odd. It sounded like someone was running through my apartment. I stood up and looked around. The room was illuminated by the TV, so was able to see pretty well. 2 small figures ran into my room, and the door slammed. What the hell? I approached my room door and swung it open. The room was dark, so I turned on the light. I gasped as I saw 2 sets of little bloody footprints leading to my bed. I slowly approached my bed and got on my knees. I then gripped the bed skirt, and as I bent down, slowly lifted it up. The twin girls from the store grinned at me evilly. I would have ran, but I was petrified. How had they gotten here? Who are they? What do they want? Their faces began to contort grossly. Their mouths widened, tearing at their corners, revealing sharp teeth. Their eyes fell clean out of their sockets, and 2 black holes stared at me, and their nails elongated into sharp 6-inch claws. Their heads cocked to the right, and they screeched and charged at me. I jumped back, and my back hit the wall. I threw my hands over my face, awaiting the claws that would soon tear me apart. For hours I waited, too afraid to look beyond my hands. The possibility that they were just standing in front of me, waiting for me to look at their hideous faces, weighed heavy on my shoulders. Dawn soon came, and I still had yet to move. I didn't want to. I was still too afraid. Someone touched my shoulder, and I screamed and threw my arms out, knocking them away. "Damn it, Mary!" I looked up and cried in relief as my eyes landed on my friends, Jasmine, Tara, and Violet. I jumped up and hugged the closest one to me. "They were here," I sobbed. "I don't know how, but they were here in my home." Jasmine put her hands on my shoulders and made me take 2 small steps back. "Who?" Jasmine asked. "The twins. All 3 of them frowned." "What are you talking about?" Violet asked. I frowned at them. "I've told you about them." Tara shook her head. "We haven't heard from you in 3 months, Jasmine nodded. "Yeah, like since the beginning of April." I shook my head. "I've texted you and commented on your pics." Jasmine looked irritated as she stared at me. "No, you haven't." I dug into my pocket, pulled out my phone, and went to my messages. Nothing. No messages. Not a single piece of evidence that proved I've spoken to them. "What the fuck is happening?" I whispered. I went to Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter, and each said the last time I was logged on was 3 months ago. Violet touched my shoulder and looked at her. "Are you okay?" Not wanting to look even crazier than I already did, I nodded and said, "I'm most likely just on edge from lack of sleep. That's why I'm a little out of it. Could you please go? I'm a little tired." They left after. I begged them, and I paced the room, trying to piece everything together. After a while of thinking, I decided that the best thing to do would be to destroy the mirror. June 27th of 2000. I stood in the middle of the store with a crowbar clutched tightly in my left hand. I was soaking wet due to the thunderstorm outside. I was glad I forgot to lock the door, and it seemed that Linda still hadn't returned. Maybe she had looked into the mirror and fled town to escape the twins. Maybe they found her and killed her. That would explain why she warned me not to remove the tarp. She was trying to protect me. I flipped the light switch, but nothing happened. Shit, the power was out. I hesitated and walked in the direction of the mirror, slowly, keeping an eye out for the twins. A crack of lightning caused me to jump to the right, and I slammed into a mirror. Bits of the mirror penetrated my back, and two big shards penetrated my ankles. I winced and fell to my knees. I clenched my teeth and began to crawl along the cold floor. I wasn't going to let a few injuries hold me back. I heard giggling and the soft pounding of feet to my right, but I didn't look. That just slowed me down. I finally reached the mirror and tore the tarp off. The giggling ceased and everything was silent as I raised the crowbar and slammed it into the mirror. But it didn't break. The crowbar rebounded off the mirror, throwing my arm back and dislocating my shoulder. I dropped the crowbar and fell onto my side, clutching my shoulder, sobbing. I looked into the mirror, and the last thing I saw were the twins running up behind me, their eyes black pools in their mouth, a giant hole filled with razor-sharp teeth, with their clawed hands curled and ready to strike. 2 days later. Maureen Thompson has been reported missing by her friends. They hadn't heard from her in 3 months, and when her friends went over to her home, they said she was acting a bit strange and had urged them to leave. After not hearing from her for another 2 days, they went to her home only to find it empty and looking as if no one ever lived there. They then went to the abandoned building locals had seen Miss Thompson visit but found nothing. The police are baffled by her disappearance and are saying that it's like she never existed. Detectives did some research on the young girl but only found a case file with her name on it along with her picture. On the file it said that she died June 27, 1918, at the hands of her younger twin sisters who smashed a giant mirror on her while she was at the mirror store she worked at and cut her up. The store was owned by an old woman named Linda who disappeared the night before Mary started working. Other people from different towns also have reported a missing Mary Thompson. Could the Mary who died 82 years ago be the same Mary who disappeared 2 days ago? Could she have been a ghost cursed to relive her death? Or is this some sick game being played by a serial killer? April 23, 2001. The shop was filled with all types of mirrors in many different shapes, colors, and sizes. There were gold mirrors, silver mirrors, round mirrors, square mirrors, big mirrors, and cute small ones. I walked around a bit searching for Linda. Instead, I found a note saying, "Went out of town. Won't be back for a few weeks. Store key on counter along with instructions." Great. First day of work and my boss leaves. Just like the note had said, the key to the store, along with a paper with instructions scribbled on it, were on the counter. I pocketed the key and picked up the paper. It said, Number 1. Dust all mirrors. Number 2. Be sure to keep the shop clean. Number 3. Sell mirrors for at least $50 or more. Number 4. Do not look under the white tarp. I frowned as I reread number 4. What was the crazy old bat talking about? I walked around looking for a white tarp and I found it at the back of the store, hidden away. The tarp was dirty and had red stains here and there, most likely from paint, and the object it was covering seemed to be 2 feet taller than me, so it was 8 foot 2 inches. My curiosity sparked, and I wanted so badly to remove the tarp, but resisted and went about the store doing my job.